All right, we're back here on Titans Talk, breaking down what happened yesterday. Titans win 23-20 over the Ravens, and where they stand at this point of the season. Titans are 5-3, tied for first place in the AFC South. Our big question, macro question for tonight, we want to hear from you, 737-7767, is the Titans haven't played great, but here they are in first place. So do you feel good about that there's another level out there, or do you feel like what you've seen in terms of their play is just kind of who this team is, and maybe there isn't another level for them the rest of the season? Love to get your take on that. 737-7767 is our number tonight. Again, for this team, I think moving forward, I think what you have to see is I think you have to see Marcus Mariota take over a little bit more than what you've seen lately. He has been obviously hampered by injuries at times, and he was great in the Indianapolis game. But he needs to be that dynamic dual threat guy that he has been at times throughout his career. If he can get back totally healthy, teams have to account for that. The fact that he can take off running, the fact that you can go to the zone read, all those sort of things. That's what the Titans need from Marcus Mariota in the second half of the season. They also, I think, need to continue to establish the running game. It hasn't busted free against some really good defenses, by the way. Hasn't busted through against some really good defenses to this point of the season, but you keep going. You keep forcing teams to come up into the box. Teams are going with 8 and 9 guys. And what happens when you continue to do that is you open things up for the play-action passing game, and that's what happened yesterday, especially in the red zone. That first red zone touchdown was an example of the Ravens crowding guys in the box. Eric Weddle, the safety's coming down as the snap is coming because he expects it to be a run. He sucks in, and now all of a sudden it's single coverage against your wide receivers and an opportunity for a guy to go make a play. And Rashard Matthews is capable enough to doing that. And yesterday he did. So I think those are two big keys for the Titans moving forward. 737-7767 is our number. We want to hear from you guys tonight. Let's go to, is it Drake? Drake, thanks for the call.
What's up now?
How you doing? Thanks for the call.
I'm just calling about, the Titans, my home team.
Drake, thanks for the call.
The Titans, my home team, I don't have no doubt about them, you know what I'm saying? They go make the playoffs.
Well, that's good. I mean, certainly a lot of people around here would love to see that. What makes you so confident that they're going to make the playoffs?
That Marcus Mariota back active, and our tight ends, the running game, the two-head monster. We gonna do that.
That's certainly something people are hanging their hat on, is the fact that Marcus Mariota is active. And Drake, we appreciate the call tonight. Phone lines again open, 737-7767 is the number. Let's go to Emily. Emily, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
Are we going to see more of a Dory Jackson on offense?
I think we are. You're not going to see it on every play by any means. I mean, he's first and foremost a cornerback for this team, and he's played really well there. But I think what you saw Sunday when he got that carry on the first possession is the first of sort of a package that you're going to see with him, because he has dynamic speed. And Mike Mularkey talked about it today. He actually kind of muffed the exchange with Marcus Mariota there. If he doesn't bobble that ball, he gets through that hole even quicker, and he might be gone. So that's the type of thing that they want to get from Adoree Jackson this year. It's not going to be a high volume of plays, but whether it's an end around or the occasional handoff in the backfield, maybe a pass play here or there, they're going to try and get him the ball more, because as we've seen on a couple of these returns or on that play yesterday, he's dynamic when he gets it. He's got a level of speed that nobody else on the team has, and they understand that. And I think finally the other thing that you feel good about here is at first they wanted him solely to focus on defense, and he did. But I think they got to the bye week and said, this kid's coming along. He's playing well on the defensive side of the ball. We think we can give him more. And I think that's the real positive sign of that play yesterday. Obviously, it worked, but I think it's also telling you that this game, the NFL, two different sides of the ball and special teams, it's not too big for Adoree Jackson, your first-round pick. He's able to soak it all in, absorb different game plans on different sides of the ball, and be able to make an impact on Sunday. That's a real positive sign. Emily, thanks for the call. Let's go back to the phones and James. James, good evening. James, go ahead. Hello, James.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead. You're on the air.
According to Nick Saban, if y'all turn Henry loose, I think he would make a real good running game.
Well, he has at times. He's also had some real struggling games. I mean, 2 weeks ago in Cleveland, he had 13 yards on 13 carries. That's not obviously going to get it done. To me, it's not about the back. To me, it's about the defenses they're facing, loading the box against what the Titans are trying to do. And it's about this offensive line maybe not being as dominant as it was a year ago. Last year, they probably took some people by surprise, and they played very well, especially the guys up the middle probably played above their level. I think you still feel great about the tackles. There have been some chinks in the armor showed at the guard positions this year, maybe even Ben Jones at center. I think against good defenses, that's shown. And if you're not getting penetration, if you're not pushing the defensive line off the line of scrimmage, I don't care who the back's going to be, you're not going to run particularly well. We've seen both DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry be effective, and we've seen them both struggle at times this year. To me, that's a function of the offensive line and then the play calling and situations that come into that. They need to be better, and they understand that. As you move into the November and December, that's the time of year where the teams that can run the football are in the best shape. The Titans did that really well last year when they got hot. They understand that they've got to be better at that this year in the second half of the season.
Yeah, but why not try to run around the end instead of right up the middle all the time?
Well, they've done it a couple times. The 72-yard touchdown from Henry against Indianapolis was a situation where he ran around the end. It was a design play to get him outside. He got outside and he made a big play. You're not going to be able to do that all the time, and I will argue that with Murray and Henry, you're talking about generally two backs that are downhill runners. They're not necessarily speed demons, so they want to get the ball, go straight, and go downhill on you, and doing that in the middle of the field is the best way to do it with those two backs. They've got to get it in both places, but the meat and potatoes is going to be running behind that offensive line in the middle of the field with those two backs. All right, let's try and sneak in one more call here. Let's go to Max. Max, thanks for the call. You are on Sportsline, or Titans Talk, excuse me.
Yes. Yes, I would like to know how are the players that are injured like Mariota and Murray, how are they supposed to heal themselves, especially at this time of the year when it's getting cold and the defenses are playing harder? How are they going to heal, and what is the roster looking like behind them?
Well, part of the question is they're just going to have to play, because in the NFL, everybody's sort of beat up at this time of year, and you just have to gut it your way through it. If it's bad enough, then maybe you have to sit down. I think the bye week came at the perfect time for this team because they were beat up. They had a lot of nagging injuries, and to give those guys a full week off going into last week, they took care of a lot of that. I think Marcus Mariota, is he 100%? No, maybe not, but he's darn close to it at this point. I think that's the case for a lot of guys. Murray got hurt again yesterday, which is troubling because now it's just another injury that you add on to that. Obviously, behind him, you have Henry. So that's the nice thing there, is you've got the 1-2 punch. If Murray finally can't go one of these weeks, which I think he'll do everything possible to be on the field if they'll let him, you go to Henry, and Henry becomes the feature back in the game. But Marcus Mariota is clearly the one that you have to worry about the most, because as we saw in Miami, when Mariota can't go, this offense becomes a totally different thing with Matt Castle at quarterback. You just cannot replace the quarterback. Other guys are hurt. You know, other guys are losses when they're not there. I think this offense is more dynamic with Corey Davis back than when he was out for the first chunk of the season. But it was still an offense that could make plays and put up 30 points in a few games without Corey Davis. The Titans can't score 30 points if Marcus Mariota isn't on the field. There just isn't a backup quarterback on this team, or frankly anywhere else out there, that they can plug in to replace Marcus Mariota and have the same type of offense. So clearly, as we've seen the last couple of years and seen this year already, keeping Marcus Mariota healthy and keeping him on the field is absolutely vital to this team's chances. All right, Max, we appreciate the call. We got to take a break here. We will come back, more of your phone calls and more on Titans Talk right after this.